Mornings set the tone for the rest of your day, and I find that establishing a consistent routine can boost my productivity, improve mental clarity, and just generally improve my well-being. Before you tell me,
Kallie, I'm just not a morning person,
yes, you are. Or at least you can be. And if you want to have more successful mornings in 2025, I'm here to help you do that. All backed by science. Let's do this thing. First things first, in case you're someone who just lives your life assuming you can never be a morning person, let me break down that wall for you. Now, the concept of morning person versus night owls there's literally a fly in here. Like, where did you come from? Go away. Now, the concept of morning person versus night owl has some scientific basis, and it's rooted in chronotypes. There are larks who naturally wake up early. They feel most alert in the morning, and then there are owls who naturally stay up late, and they tend to feel more alert later in the evening. And then there are some people who fall like in the middle. Michael Bruce is a clinical psychologist who identified these categories in his book, The Power of When, and there are genetic factors that play a role in determining your chronotype. Specifically, your PER3 gene. Variations of this gene can determine your natural inclination to wake up early or stay up late. While genetics can influence your sleep tendencies, your chronotype is not your destiny. We are born genetically predisposed in so many different ways, from our muscle mass to our cognition, our anxiety, stress levels, even happiness and willpower. All of these things can be impacted by our genetics, but again, none of it is destiny, and most of them are quite malleable. Your muscle fiber composition, for example, is a genetic factor, but through training and exercise, you can modify your muscle growth. You can be born genetically predisposed to have higher anxiety, but then learn therapies and exercises to help you regulate and reduce your anxiety. And your sleep chronotype is the same. While you may be a certain chronotype, with some knowledge and effort, you can adapt your sleep patterns. Now, to fully understand how to do this, you need to know that your body has something called a circadian rhythm. This is a 24-hour internal cycle that your body goes through every day, every 24 hours, and it regulates everything from sleep to digestion to alertness to tons of other bodily functions. While there are some genetics that play a role in your circadian rhythm, in general, they are controlled by external factors. These internal factors are called Zeitgebers. I think I'm pronouncing it right. It's German for time givers. Most notable are light, temperature, and routines. When your circadian rhythm is well aligned, you feel more alert during the day and more sleepy at night. So by changing some of those time givers, you can change your circadian rhythm and thus change your sleep cycle. And research by the University of Surrey actually backs this up. They found that by adjusting light exposure and sleep routines over just a couple of weeks, they could shift night owls to earlier waking times. Now that we've broken down the myth that you are destined to never be a morning person, let's chat a little bit more on how to do it and how to make your mornings the most successful that you can. Now, the number one thing that I want you to take away from this video when it comes to the importance of good mornings is consistency. First, you want to get consistent about your bedtime and your wake time. Personally, I wake up at the same exact time every day. Like, yes, weekends, vacations, just really the same time every day, no matter what. My bedtime, I let be a little more wiggle room, so generally it's like a 45-minute window. So bedtime within 45-minute window in the same exact wake time every day. For me right now in this season of life, my bedtime is around 10 p.m. and then I wake up every day exactly at 5 a.m. on the dot. And yours can be different. Having a consistent bedtime and wake time helps you synchronize your circadian rhythm. When you go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, your body learns when to release hormones like melatonin, which is the hormone that promotes sleep, and cortisol, which is the hormone that promotes wakefulness. It also helps reduce something called social jet lag, which is like my new favorite term. Social jet lag is when your sleep schedule can vary significantly from weekends to days, and this ultimately leads to grogginess and bad sleep. So yes, if you want to be successful, I hate to break it to you, but you got to stick with it even on weekends. Over time, maintaining consistent schedules with your sleep will improve your sleep efficiency. You will fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up easier. If your current sleep-wake cycle isn't how you want it to be, you can essentially take two different methods to get to where you want to be. You can gradually move your bedtime and wake time earlier by 15 minutes, or you can just rip off the band-aid and pick a day and start a new bedtime and wake time. At the end of the day, I find that most of them take about the same amount of time. You either gradually walk into the pool adjusting to the temperature, or you can just cannonball right in.
A quick break to tell you about the sponsor for today's video, which is Thrive Market. Now, where we live, there's not a ton of variety in the stores that we can go for groceries. So I love, because I can turn to Thrive Market to get that variety that I can't get in my stores, and I can stock up on essentials for our home. I am always looking for ways to not just save time, but also save money when I'm getting groceries for my family. So with Thrive Market, I can shop for healthy, organic products at a discount, and I can have them delivered right to my door. Plus, their membership model ensures that I'm getting the best prices, whether I'm looking for like my go-to pantry staples, I'm getting healthier snacks for the kids, or even eco-friendly household products. Thrive Market makes it really easy for me to find what I need. Now, Here are some of my go-to items from Thrive, including 1, pantry staples. So I love their peanut butters, their jams, pasta sauces, nuts and seeds. We also love snacks for the kids. It makes packing lunchboxes a lot easier. So personally, my son loves their olive packs. My husband and I really like them too. My daughter's favorite are these fruit bars. They also have really great options for younger eaters too. So we have a toddler in the home. If you were trying to incorporate like variety into their snacks, because we all know toddlers just like to eat the same thing all the time. Now, there's no better time to try out Thrive Market because with their New Year sale, you will get 30% off top products. Plus, when you go to thrivemarket.com/Kallie Branciforte, you will get an extra 30% off your first order and a free gift worth up to $60. So kickstart your new year and stock up now.
Now, for me, over the last 6 years, I've had 4 babies. So my circadian rhythm has been drastically altered many times because not many things really mess up your sleep-wake cycle like a newborn. Now, obviously in the early newborn phase, I am just getting sleep in where I can, but once my baby's doing a little better at night, I have to go through the process of resetting my sleep cycle and my circadian rhythm. And I've done it both ways. I've done the gradual thing and I've done the cannonball. And I wouldn't say one is better than others, just really what you prefer because they're both going to give you the same end game. One thing that I always say that will make your morning so much easier and so much more successful is have a consistent routine. You want to wake up and kind of do the same set of things every single morning. The thought here is that you're not forcing your brain to make any decisions first thing when you wake up. You can kind of just autopilot into your routine, which is especially helpful when you first wake up and you're still a little groggy. I find if I don't have a set routine or expectation when I wake up, I can easily waste like 20 minutes just kind of lingering around and not really sure how to start. And this also benefits you the entire day because throughout the day, our ability to make quality decisions actually decreases. You've probably heard the term decision fatigue. By establishing a morning routine that happens sort of on autopilot, it reduces decision making early in the day, kind of saves your energy for more important tasks later in the day. So what you want to fill your morning time with is totally up to you, but consider keeping it routine and the same. So personally, I wake up, I walk down the hall to the bathroom, I brush my teeth, I switch the laundry, I make a coffee, I review my schedule for the day, possibly cross something off my to-do list. I move my body in some way. Maybe it's 5 minutes of yoga. Sometimes it's 30 minutes of working out. And then I get dressed for the day. This is the same exact schedule I follow every morning. And so when I wake up, my brain literally just autopilots me to the bathroom to begin. Now, there are a few helpful things to know about mornings to make them even more successful. First, your body will typically release cortisol about 30 to 45 minutes after you wake up. Cortisol is often known as the stress hormone, but it also gets released in your body to help you wake up. So align morning tasks such as exercise or goal setting during that peak. The next important thing to know is that light exposure is very important to your circadian rhythm. It's actually one of the most important of those little time givers we talked about earlier. So it really influences when you feel awake or when you feel sleepy. When light enters your eye, it signals something in your eye, which I'm going to put right here and not even try to pronounce. We'll call it SCN for short. But it signals this part of your brain, which then acts as a master clock for your body. So the signal tells your brain to suppress melatonin, which is the hormone that promotes sleep, and it helps you feel alert and awake for the day. And then in the evening, less light triggers that same SCN to allow melatonin production, making you feel sleepy. I listened to the most interesting interview with a woman once who was a fitness performance scientist. Her name was Kristen Holmes, and she talked about how light impacts our circadian rhythm. She talked about how for centuries we would wake and sleep with the sun because there really wasn't any other choice. But in the very short period of time since, artificial light has been invented, and in an even shorter time since then, blue light has entered the picture, and we can now stay up all hours of the day. And she talked about how unnatural it was for our sleep and how it really disrupts many people's circadian rhythms. But since most of us don't have the luxury of actually going to bed and waking up when the sun does, since it's kind of like a moving target, right? It's like different times of the day depending on where in the year you are. One of the best things you can do is try to mimic sunup and sundown in your own home. So for me, like 1 or 2 hours before bed, I will sort of dim the lights in our house. I'll make them low. And then when I wake up, I used to keep the lights dim, but now I actually will turn the full lights on in the room that I am to mimic the sun being up. And if you really want to help regulate your circadian rhythm, meal timing can also play a role too. Eating 1 to 2 hours after waking up can help signal your body that it is time to be active and alert. It signals your peripheral clocks, those are the ones like in your liver and your pancreas, to synchronize with your brain's master clock, which really just helps to reinforce your circadian rhythm and your wakefulness cycle. And you want to be done eating about 2 to 3 hours before bed. Because 1, digestion slows as your body prepares for bed, and 2, digestion competes with your body's natural release of melatonin, making it harder for you to fall asleep. Okay, I feel like I've thrown a lot at you, so let's recap. 1, you were born possibly predisposed to certain sleep chronotypes, but this can be shifted using external factors like light, routine, and meal timing. The key to a good morning is consistency, consistent wake times and sleep times so that you wake up more easily, and consistent routines in the morning to avoid decision fatigue and make it so you can autopilot to the things you want to do. And remember that good morning is typically the best step to having a good day. Having a small achievement early in the day triggers dopamine, and that can set a positive feedback loop for the rest of your day. There you have it, some of my best tips to take back your mornings and make 2025 your best year ever. As always, thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Remember to be kind to yourself and others, and I will see you all in my next video.